Hi all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. A manhunt is currently underway in Houston, Texas for a man who police say murdered his girlfriend in the early morning hours of May 7th of 2024 and then stole a police car after engaging in a gunfight with an officer who tried to pull him over. Police say the suspect, who they have not yet named, shot his girlfriend 9 times in the parking lot of a gas station near the Houston Medical Center in front of paramedics who were there putting gas in their ambulance. They say the paramedics tried to save the woman while flagging down a passing police officer, but the woman later died at the hospital. When the officer tried to stop the suspect after he fled the scene, police say he engaged in a gunfight with the officer before stealing his patrol car and leaving the scene. But then he returned to the scene, engaged in a second gunfight with the officer, got back in his car, and fled again. The officer is said to have sustained only minor injuries, and he's currently being treated at the hospital. Police held a press briefing asking for the public's help to locate the suspect, who they say is driving a black Chevy Camaro, license plate number D as in dog, T as in Tom, B as in boy, 4849. But they did not provide a description of the suspect or a photo. But they did say that he had a history of DV with his girlfriend prior to killing her.
We are following breaking news this morning where a deadly domestic violence shooting happened just hours ago that turned into a deputy-involved shooting.
Stephanie Whitfield live at the scene of that shooting at McGregor and Alameda. Steph, do police know where the suspect is right now?
They don't, but Houston police say they're actively looking for that suspect right now while they continue the investigation here at the scene. Right now, Houston police are telling us they know who the suspect is and what car he's in, and they confirm he does have a history of domestic violence involving the woman who was sadly killed. Investigators say this started at around 12:30 this morning when HFD paramedics were at a gas station filling up. We're told a man and woman were arguing. Then the paramedics reportedly witnessed the man shoot that woman 9 times. They flagged down a Precinct 7 constable deputy who was driving by, and police say that deputy tried to take the suspect into custody.
Immediately went into a shooting. The officer retreated, exchanged rounds. The suspect then got into the deputy's vehicle and drove away.
Houston police say the shooter actually came back to the scene. We're told that's when another shootout took place as the suspect got into another car and fled the scene. The Precinct 7 deputy was taken to the hospital to be checked out for minor injuries. We're told he's been with the constable's office for 14 years. Now, police tell us they're actively tracking the suspect. His name has not been released, but we're told he's in a dark-colored Chevy Camaro. The license plate is DTB 4849. Now, if you see that vehicle, you need to know that that suspect is considered armed and dangerous, so you should call Houston police right away. Stephanie Whitfield, KHOU 11 News.
Good morning. My name is Jessica Anderson. I'm an Assistant Chief of the Houston Police Department. I'm joined by Captain Marcus Grant and Captain James Phillips with Precinct 7. Tonight we are here in the intersection of McGregor and Alameda. At about 12:35 this morning, there was an officer-involved shooting involving Precinct 7. The deputy is okay, but let me walk through some of the facts for you here. As I said, about 12:35 at this intersection, in this gas station, in fact, HFD was getting fuel in one of their ambulances when they on-viewed a domestic disturbance. They saw a disturbance go into the store, and then as the couple came out, they witnessed the suspect in disagreement and argument with the female. HFD then saw the suspect chase the female to the driveway of the convenience store, where he subsequently shot the female approximately 9 times. HFD backed off to safety as it was occurring. At that moment, they also saw a Precinct 7 constable approaching. HFD flagged down the constable and told them what they had seen. The suspect got into his vehicle after shooting the female and drove up the street just a little bit. The deputy got in behind him and attempted to make a traffic stop. As they left the scene, HFD immediately began to render aid to the female and transported her to an area hospital. The deputy engaged the suspect after the traffic stop, immediately went into a shooting. The officer retreated, exchanged rounds. The suspect then got into the deputy's vehicle and drove away. The suspect was gone for a short period of time and then returned to the scene, and there was another gunfight with the deputy. The suspect then got into the vehicle and left the location. We have a good plate on the vehicle. It is a black Chevy Camaro, license plate David Tom Boy 4849. Officers are tracking that vehicle, but we do not have the suspect in custody just yet. HPD is conducting the criminal investigation on both the homicide of the female as well as the officer-involved shooting, and Precinct 7 will be handling the administrative portion of the officer-involved shooting. That's a very quick glimpse of what we have here today. Tragically, a domestic disturbance that resulted in a death. As I said, the suspect is not in custody, but we know who he is, and we are actively tracking him and searching for the vehicle, but we ask for the public's help in locating him. Again, it's a black Chevy Camaro, Texas plate DTB 4849. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Captain Marcus Grant of Precinct 7, who will address any questions from the Precinct 7 standpoint, and then we can answer any other questions.
In regard to the deputy being involved in the shooting, the deputy is currently at the hospital undergoing medical evaluation to ensure that he's okay. At the return of gunfire, the deputy did suffer some small injuries. We still waiting for further medical evaluation to determine what's his prognosis.
Any questions? Do we know how many years he's been on service?
The deputy been on for approximately 14 years. He works the Southside Patrol.
Any other questions?
My understanding is that the suspect that's fled the scene, he has active cases, I guess, regarding domestic violence with respect to the victim.
I'm not sure if they're active cases, but I am aware that there have been cases against him in the past with this same victim. Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
Can you repeat that license plate one more time?
Yes, ma'am. It's a black Chevy Camaro, Texas plate David Tom Boy 4849.
Thank you.
Chief, it's safe to assume that this suspect is armed and dangerous, correct?
That's correct. And we'd appreciate any help from the public as we try to track him down. As I said, we have a good ID, but we could use the help from the public to make sure that we get him in custody as quickly as possible.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Police say the suspect is still armed and dangerous, and if you see him, to please call 911 to report his location. I hope they locate the suspect soon before he hurts anybody else. Thank you for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you on my next video.